welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much guys for always coming back. So today's video is the continuation of the last video I posted a few days ago, which is corset pattern drafting. Today's video I will be teaching you how to sew the corset. So these are the items we need for this tutorial. I have 1 yard of fabric. It's not really up to 1 yard, it's less than 1 yard of African print. I have region boning, wording, zipper, tape measurement, scissors, and the sewing machine. So let's get started. So this is the pattern. I just want to explain some few things to you guys before I cut out the whole thing. The one I posted last week was up to the waist measurement. Like I told you in that video, if you want to extend it to the hip measurement, you can add some allowance to it. It's still the same process. The one I'm making today is just the same pattern. The only difference is that this is longer than the one I posted a few days ago. Right from the waistline, I added about 6 inches to it. I added right from the waistline to 1 inch above the hip line. What I have here is 23.5 inches. This is the back, and then this is the front, 23.5 inches. So that's just the difference. This is longer than the one I posted. But if you want to make it up to the waistline, it's still up to you. If you're making it beyond the waistline, you add how many inches you want to add to it. So I will cut this out and then transfer it to the fabric. If you're making it with a yoke, you can use this to cut out the yoke. So this is the back part. So this is the front panel. If you are extending it to the hip measurement or 1 inch or 2 inches above the hip measurement, you make sure you add this 1 inch. I added 1 inch to the waistline on this side and 1 inch on this side, and make sure you also add that 1 inch on this side and the other side. That is for the hip part. So I've cut out the pattern. I will go ahead and fold the fabric into two and transfer this to the fabric. So I folded my fabric into two, and I spread the pattern on the fabric. So I will go ahead and trace all the pattern out. I'll use my rotary cutter to trace out the pattern. I've already cut out the lining. I'm using a rotary cutter in case you're wondering, and I place my fabric on top of my cutting mat. So I'm done cutting out everything. I've cut out the lining and the pattern. So I will go ahead and use this to cut out the wording. I'll fold the wording into two also and place it like so. I'll cut out this part also. So guys, I finished cutting out the wording. I will go ahead and use a pressing iron to press the wording to the cup. So I will press both on the lining and the normal fabric. We have our normal fabric here. We still iron the wording to the lining. I'll go ahead and use a pressing iron to iron the wording to the fabric and to the lining. I'll finish ironing the wording to the cups. So we'll go ahead and join the cups together. This side is the other side, that's the fuller side. You take one of these and take one of these. You join them together. So I will start sewing it right from the bottom. Sew it all the way to the upper part. I'll do the same thing also for the rest of the cups, the lining and the normal fabric. We are done attaching the wordings to the cup. So I will notch it and then open up the seam. Use the pressing iron to press it open. What we are going to do now is to join the front and the back together. So this is the normal fabric. This is the center part and these two are the side parts. So we will go ahead and join them together. Use half inch to join them together. Half inch is our sewing allowance. So I will turn it this way, right side facing right side. And turn this to this side. We're not joining the fabric and the lining together now. We join the fabric on its own and join the lining on its own. I will do the same thing for the lining. So I will sew them together, right side facing right side. Then sew the back side. So I will do the same thing for the back side. I will join these two together, right side facing right side, and join these two together. So I'll use half inch to join this also. This is where I will insert my zip. I will do the same thing for the back lining. So guys, I'm done joining the front and the back together. This is the lining. These are the two back pieces. This is the front part. Just press it out. So if you like, you can make a top stitch here. After sewing it, you can top stitch this place, that's the dart area. But for me, I just use a pressing iron and press it to one side. I press this to this side and then press this to this side. So we'll be creating a channel for the boning. So I cut out about 1.5 inches strip here. I will add one here. So this is my dart line. So we have two dart lines here. One here, and this is another one. And we'll be adding this to the midpoint of the front part. So this is the center part. I'll look for this midpoint and add it here. So I cut out 3 inches strip. I ironed 1/4 inch on both sides. You can use any fabric of your choice. So I'm using a black satin fabric. I will turn 1/4 inch on this side and turn 1/4 inch on the other side and iron it. So I will just place it like so, since I've already ironed 1/4 inch on both sides inside. So I will stitch it here and stitch it here right on the dart line. I will do the same thing for this dart line and the midpoint of the center one. You can make any style of your choice. You can just turn it like so. You can add more to it if you want. I just want to make 3 stripes here, so I'll go ahead and then stitch the stripes to the front part. So guys, I finished sewing it. So what we are going to do is to attach the cups to the front part. So I will take one of the cups, match the seam together, that's the darts, so I will pin it like so. So I will take this to the right side, stitch it with 1/2 inch. And I will bring this to the left side and then stitch it with 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing for this side and the lining. This side is the fuller side of the bust, so make sure this side is on this side while this is on this side. So guys, I'm done attaching the cup to the front part. This is the normal fabric and this is the lining. So we'll go ahead and then insert the original bone into the space I created earlier. Use a pressing iron to straighten it. I'll do the same thing for the other 2. So make sure you file the boning before you insert it to the space. The reason of filing it is to eliminate sharp edges. It's either you file it or use a lighter to burn the edges. So I will reduce this by 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on this side. So I want the boning to stop here. I don't want the boning to get to this upper part. Now I will use pin to hold this 1/2 inch. So I will insert it up to this place. So I will use this 1/2 inch to turn the neckline. So I will place it inside like so. And I'll make sure this side is 1/2 inch short also, because I will be joining this side also to the lining. I'll do the same thing for the rest. So for this side, the boning is 1/2 inch shorter than the space here at the bottom here, because I'll be joining the lining with the normal fabric. We'll go ahead and join the facing and the normal fabric together. I'll place it like so, right side facing right side. I will use 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch to sew it from here, 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 here. The side, I will sew the button also. And I will sew here and then leave this side open. I will leave about 7 inches open. I will be turning it right from this 7 inches. I'll do the same thing for the back side. Right side facing right side. So I will still turn them against each other, right side facing right side. So I will sew it here, armhole, side, here and here. I'll do the same thing for this side and leave some space here to turn it inside out. I'm done joining the lining and the fabric together. So after I finished sewing the upper part here, I made a top stitch here. So I pushed the seam to the lining and made a top stitch here around the neckline. So I left this place open. I will turn it right from this place. Now I've already turned the back side. So what we are going to do next is to attach the zip to the back side. My zipper allowance is 1.5 inches. I'll use 1.5 inches to sew this side, and then use 1.5 inches to sew this side. And after that, we'll join the front and the back together. So guys, I'm done attaching the zip to the back side. So we'll go ahead and join the front and the back together. I will lay the front and the back against each other. I will use 1 inch to join this side. 1.5 inches is our sewing allowance. I use 1/2 inch to turn it. So I will use the remaining 1 inch to sew this side and sew this side. So I will measure 1 inch right from the armpit all the way to the bottom. I will do the same thing for this side. So guys, this is our corset top. You can add some stripe to it if you want to. You just place it here, like depending on how wide you want it. You just place it here. So if you don't want to wear it like that, you can add sleeve here. You can add it to the other side or so. You can still wear it without the stripe. This is the back side. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you like my tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're also new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in my next one. Love you. Bye.